Okay, we're like, ask Kanji if it's not working or not. Oh shit. Oh my god. Actually, it's mirrored, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's right now. Sure, ask Kanji.
I delegated this task. I know. Okay, we're not starting yet, but just a quick announcement. Let's start packing these seats in the back rows. So let's not save seats. I know it's important to have your friends around here, but let's also make sure everyone has a chance to fit in the room. So let's take some of these open seats in some of the middle sections here and start filling those seats up. Thank you.
Oh my god. It's so funny. Anyways, or somehow we can figure out a way to do it and film, like have someone film while us are doing it and make it into the same way. I was like, yeah, sure. Yes.
Great. For those of you that are struggling to find a seat, those of you up there, if you want to go back here, we have an overflow room set up for those of us that couldn't find a seat in this room. Again, please pack those empty seats. They're kind of sparse right now, but still, if you can't find a seat in here, let's move back to the hallway, and we have organizers that are going to usher you into another room to be able to stream the opening ceremony.
be using this chair. You can sit here too, but this is gonna be here. It's okay.
I'll manage it, yeah.
Okay, then it's fine.
Hello, everyone. Hey, if you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. Woo! Okay, welcome to WEHack 2023. Who all are so excited for this weekend? Okay, I can hear you louder, please. Sweet. Okay, I'll turn over to Monty now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you all for coming. So we're WEHack, and we are a gender-focused hackathon here at UTD. We've worked really hard to create a safe, inclusive, and empowering environment for you guys this weekend. So we hope that you enjoy and have some fun exploring tech. So my name is Mansi, and this is my second year organizing WEHack. So I've had a really great time learning about how to create empowering environments for people, and also just being able to be creative in this space and help people like you have a really great weekend. So I'll turn it over to Amanda.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Maida. I am actually one of the co-founders of WEHack. It's amazing to see how much this organization has grown over the past few years, and I can't wait to hear about all of your guys' experiences. So with that, we will just turn it over.
All right, so first, I'd really like to thank our sponsors. So without them, this hackathon would not have been possible. So please feel free to reach out to them to ask any questions you may have about these great companies, or just to seek their support and advice. So let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. Thank you. Let's go ahead and announce some of our sponsors. So Toyota is our title sponsor. L3 Harris is our platinum sponsor. We have State Farm and CBRE, who are our gold sponsors. And we have Access and JP Morgan Chase, who are our bronze sponsors. So let's move on to general rules.
Yes, so as y'all know, COVID cases are rising, so masks are optional. So feel free to wear your mask just to be safe and everything. Make sure you remember washing your hands. Sanitary is also important during these times. Also, please do pick up after yourself. You really want to make sure that the environment is clean, safe, welcoming, and do be nice to others. Our goal is to create a more inclusive and belonging environment for all individuals. So we just want to make sure everyone's having a great time. So have fun this weekend too. So today we have a lot jam-packed for you all. After the opening ceremony, hacking will begin, and we do have an amazing workshop with one of our title sponsors, Toyota, so be sure to make it to that event. The key meal time, so 1 p.m. we have lunch, 7 p.m. we have dinner, at 11:30 we have a midnight snack, so in addition to food, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you might be able to get some free swag. I'm saying free swag, you guys. And also, we have some really great workshops with a lot of our sponsors and amazing UT Dallas student organizations such as Hack UTD, SWE, etc. So for you hackers out here, make sure you attend those because you can include some of those amazing things that you learn from these workshops within your projects.
So here's our schedule for Sunday. So 9 a.m. is breakfast, and at 11 a.m. we have a great pitching workshop hosted by Women Who Compute. So at 11:45, hacking will end, and it will be followed by lunch at 12. Then from 1 to 2:30 p.m. we have judging and the expo. So judging will end at 2:30, and 3 p.m. we have our closing ceremony. Please note that we have a raffle for those who attend our workshops the most. So the more workshops you go to, the higher chance you have of winning. In each workshop, you get a chance to basically enter into the raffle again. So again, you get a higher chance of winning. And to view a more detailed breakdown of our schedule, go ahead and scan the QR code or visit this link, which I might be in the way of. And yeah, there's that. All right, so let's move into the WEHack challenge statement. So this year, the theme for WEHack 2023 is adventures out there. So traveling, I mean, even traveling to your nearest McDonald's at 3 a.m., that's still an adventure, right? Yeah, I hope everyone agrees. But anyways, so you have the chance to explore tech this weekend and be able to make these adventures a little easier. We want you to think outside of the box and come up with some really innovative solutions. So our first place prize is a mini projector. Our second place prize is an Amazon Echo Show 8. And our third place prize is a gaming keyboard.
So we also have a new track that we're offering at WEHack this year. So this is like a design track. So individuals really interested in UI design, this is the track for you. So it's basically the same challenge statement. We really want you to be creative, think out of the box, but rather than us having the expectation for you to create a full stack web application, this is just for you to showcase your creativity through design and more focusing on the front end aspect. So our first prize winner for this is a Flip 5 waterproof speaker. So definitely a cool prize. So anyways, I will now turn it over to our title speaker, Toyota. I know they have some really amazing speakers planned. So I will now turn it over to Trey to introduce the key speakers.
I didn't know I had a role. So without further ado, Paula Simon, everyone.
Good morning. It is such a pleasure to be here. What an amazing group of people, an amazing event. Thank you for organizing it and having us here. It is truly our pleasure. Before I get started, a shout out to the 24 Toyota people that are here today to support all of you. And a thank you to all of you for really breaking barriers and getting here today and challenging your impossible. So without further ado, I'm going to share a little bit about my journey. And then right after I speak 10-15 minutes, we'll have a very special guest speaker. So let's get started. So my name is Paula Simon. I've been with Toyota for a very long time. Most of you were not born yet. 27 years and on my 28th year. So working at Toyota, the #1 auto manufacturer in the world, I really started questioning why did I even come to Toyota, because I don't really see myself as a car person. In fact, it wasn't that long ago that I was felt like it was a long time ago, but it didn't feel like that long ago that I was at university working on my degree, really trying to figure out where do I want to go. And Toyota came and recruited me straight out of college into a 2-year rotational internship program in corporate planning. So I remember my interview, I was interviewing with the head of product planning, and he was asking me about different engine configurations and car derivatives and asked what my thoughts were. And I had to just flat out tell him, I was like, I'm not a car person, but I can tell you what I love about my Honda Accord at the time and why I traded in my Camry. And he was like, okay, I mean, it was a risky gamble, but it worked. I got the job in product planning, and at the time I was in a department of about 45 men. There was only 2 women, me and another. So it was a very different environment. We've come a long way since then, but even though I came to love cars more, I still really saw myself as being in the business of people, and I became fascinated, maybe borderline obsessed, with our customers and how we can serve them. So this is our campus in Torrance, California, which is where I started working back in 1995. Trey made me put this really hideous shoulder pads and all, yep. So I started working here, and it was very quick for me to realize how critical it was to have car guys and gals in the business, but also to have people that were obsessed with customers. And I remember taking like our product planning teams, our study groups that would come from Japan to like a 7-Eleven to see like the size of the big gulp. And they were like, the whole family drinks from one cup? I'm like, no, one person, all 40 ounces. So It's really understanding how our people interact with our products that makes a difference. And so after 2 years, rather than leaving, I decided to stay, and they helped me pay for graduate school and all of that, but I got a really cool opportunity to be a lead administrator, planning administrator for our alternative fuel vehicles. So back then, believe it or not, we had 2 electric vehicles, the RAV4 and a little one called the Ecom. We have CNG, compressed natural gas Camry, and we were working on launching our first hybrid electric vehicle that ever existed in the world, right? So super exciting. So with that challenge though, we had the technology and we had the products in development, but we really didn't know much about the customers. So as we wanted to launch the Prius, which by the way, since then has become the #1 selling hybrid worldwide, that we needed to study the market. And we had 18 months to launch, and we really didn't know, is this an environmental product? Is it like a fuel efficiency play? Is it a technology play? Like what's gonna resonate with customers? So we had 18 months, and we didn't know what we were gonna do. So over on a Taco Tuesday, over some margaritas and some greasy tacos, my colleague and I came up with this idea. We've got 5 prototype vehicles. What if we take these 5 prototype vehicles, and in the 18 months that we have remaining, we take them to 12 different cities all over the country and really get a sense of what do people think about these cars? So we picked 5 households in 12 different cities, and we tried to make them as diverse as possible. People that were really focused on the economics of saving money, saving fuel costs. People that would just wanted the latest and greatest technology. People that would spend extra to have an environmental dishwasher or environmental. So really understanding what was driving consumer behavior, and we learned a ton. So these were, let's see, this group of families was from Atlanta. I still get Christmas cards from some of them, and they get the car for a month, and in exchange during that month, they kind of let us into their lives. So we got to learn a lot about them. And their behaviors and habits. So this was a group of people from Chicago. And it was just fascinating. So we didn't censor them. We said, go ahead and say whatever the heck you want about the cars, what you like, what you don't like, what you can change. We actually started this program where we had right-hand drive cars because these were prototypes coming from Japan. So yeah, teaching people like in New Jersey how to pay tolls from the right-hand side when they're throwing money into them. So that was super fun, but we got a ton of press. And I know this was before the days of social media, so we actually relied on newspapers. And so these customers would get interviewed by the media, and we did not filter because we really wanted that voice of the customer. If we were going to make this a product that was going to succeed, we needed to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it was a huge success, but that only fueled my passion for people, which was why I stayed at Toyota, because at Toyota, we put the customer at the heart of everything that we do. You all might know about a small little division of Toyota called Lexus. I spent over a decade at Lexus leading their brand efforts and planning efforts. And at Lexus, our covenant actually says that you will treat each customer as you would a guest in your own home. So the word each is a very critical word there, because yes, we do customer segmentations, but at the end of the day, it is about each individual and what each person's unique needs matter. And and the fact that we want to treat them as a guest in our home means that we look at them as family and we want to be inclusive. So long story short, the customer is at the heart of everything that we do. We have amazing car and tech people, but we also have people that are in the people business and that genuinely care about the customer. And so over the 28 years that I've been with Toyota and have a dozen different jobs, it's been an amazing ride. But as we look at where we want to go, we are the largest automobile manufacturer, but we really need to shift our thinking from being an automobile manufacturer to being a mobility company. So mobility is so much broader. And when we think about the mobile as we've known it for the last 100 years, it really has excluded a number of key segments in our population. Think about the elderly. Like, how many times my grandmother, like, I need a ride to the doctor. I might be able to drive, but I don't feel comfortable, or I'm taking a medication. Like, I mean, some of us today are having really bad allergies. Like, if I take a Benadryl, I don't feel comfortable driving. And think about children and so many segments of the population, disabled, people that are impaired. We had a hackathon last summer where we focused on how do we prevent drunk driving. So all of these mobility needs need to be addressed. And so it's beyond just producing the car, but thinking about the application of whatever mobility vehicle gets people to the freedom that comes with mobility. So Toyota has been repositioning the brand to be focused much more on mobility and really thinking about how can we create limitless possibilities and really enable that type of freedom and better serve our customers and their mobility needs. So lofty goal, lots to do there. And it requires that we double down on focusing on the customer and focusing on the communities that we serve. So I was attending a strategy conference not too long ago, and they covered so many different trends. There was one statistic that really bothered me and had me thinking, so I thought I'll bring it to all of you since you're all so smart. So dementia cases. So currently, here's a crazy statistic. So worldwide currently, there's about 36 million people that are living with dementia. So that number is expected to double in just 7 years. By 2030, we'll double that. And by 2050, we'll triple that. So think about that for a minute. 120 or so million people living with dementia. So you start thinking about that. What does that mean for mobility? What does that mean for mobility? So if you think about, when we think about it, intuitive design, what is intuitive design for someone with dementia? What does it mean if, going back to my grandmother, let's say she has dementia and wants to go someplace and she has an autonomous vehicle, let's say. Do I have the rights to go in and program where she should go and track her? What does privacy look like with that? So many different considerations. What does equitable access mean? Think about our dealers, think about roadside assistance. I mean, I can go on and on. There's so many different things that we have to rethink just to address this one segment of the population. And there's so many different trends that we can focus on, but I just thought I would bring this one example to you because it really demonstrates how if you put the customer at the heart of what you do, it should influence the products and the services that you deliver to serve them. And so it starts with a problem. And thankfully, at Toyota, we love problems. And if you think about, so why are we thinking about dementia at all, or any of these trends beyond having the customer at the heart of what we do? If we are to achieve our goal of being a mobility company, mobility for all, that means we have to consider these evolving needs and the needs of our customers so that we can deliver mobility and deliver it in the safest way possible for that person as well as the community in which they're being mobile in. So at Connected Technologies, which is the group that I work with, and the area that I lead isn't the technology side, but is the business operations. And so thank God there's a number of these really smart tech-savvy people here from Toyota and at Toyota that are looking at what is the future of our vehicle, both in the vehicle, in cabin, as well as on our app. And so in and out of the vehicle, what are we doing to make sure that people have the services and the tools and the mobility that they need for their own safety, the well-being of others, and also for fun. Like I mean, I'm not a car person, but I love driving. So we are definitely focused on safety and well-being of our customers and doing that both in and out of the vehicle. I mentioned we've had a couple of hackathons at Toyota. One amazing idea that came out of the last hackathon was the cabin awareness project. So did you know that on average there's at least 50 child deaths a year from kids being left in hot cars, which is 50 too many. So we want that to be zero. We don't want a single child ever forgotten in the car. So you think about that, what does that mean in terms of the services that we're providing? So this really smart group of people at a hackathon decided that they're going to solve this problem in a very affordable and efficient, real way. They use in youth class a millimeter wave in-cabin radar. They're able to detect the presence of an infant being left in a vehicle just using that radar, and then alert will come either on your phone or through the vehicle honking or other alert features, so that the owner can come back and make sure that their child or their pet or whatever is safe. So since the hackathon, we've partnered with a number of different groups to really take this from concept to reality. Very excited and super proud of this team for bringing that forward. So these are just a couple of examples of things that we're doing to really put the customer first and put them at the heart of everything that we do. But at Toyota, from the very beginning, when we started out as a loom company, and now as we move to becoming a mobility company, it's always been founded on two key pillars. The first is that of respect for people. And that means that you should not apologize for being who you are. In fact, you bring your differences and your unique perspective into the room to be able to solve these problems, and you feel safe and comfortable to do so. The other pillar is continuous improvement, which the Japanese term for that is kaizen. So it's small incremental improvement. Sometimes that improvement also needs to be monumental and very big, but it's about the fact that we're never settling with the status quo. We're always pushing. There's no such thing as this is the best. There's always something better. And those two pillars have been the bedrock of Toyota, but there's one key thing. These two pillars mean nothing if you don't have a diverse group of people to solve the problem. So Toyota has really added this as the bedrock. Diversity has got to be there so that we can take, whether it's dementia or cabin awareness or a million other things that we're looking at, to bring all of those unique perspectives to solve the problem at hand. And so Toyota is ranked in the top 10 diversity for a long time. We continue to focus on that. And honestly, that's part of why we're here today, to support all of you, to support bringing innovation and bringing diverse mindsets to solving real world problems. Toyota does a number of things to support women. In a couple of weeks, we'll be having the North American Women's Conference. We'll have like 1,000 women from all across Toyota come together and really through mentoring and empowering and developing our people will move them forward. And being here today, WEHack, this is now our second time. We love it. It's amazing. And we're right here in your backyard now that we've moved from Torrance to Plano. So again, it's a pleasure to be here. And we've got a number of female engineers here representing us today. But at the end of the day, we want a diverse group of people to bring solutions that make a difference to people. So as I wrap up my comments to you this morning, I want to encourage you all to engage with our team that's here today. And really, we want to get to know you. We want to get to support you in any way that we can, achieve your impossible. And we need your diverse minds and your fresh perspectives on solving some of these old and new challenges. So thank you again. But before we close out, super excited to have a real live superhero with us today. And can I stay here? Yeah. So she's a woman who's broken through every barrier out there. I mean, just remarkable, inspiring story, and has started her own impossible. So this rock star that I'm talking about is a 5-time Paralympian, 6-time medalist, and 3 of them are gold. It's a lot of gold. First-time Paralympian in history to win gold medals at both the Summer and the Winter Olympics. And in 2014 was an inductee in the inaugural class of Warner Brothers Superman Hall of Heroes. Please join me in welcoming Toyota team athlete, inspiration to us all, Elena Nichols. Yeah, yes, just one brand. Okay, so while we are, there she is.
Hello.
Are we gonna- Okay, sorry.
This
Stand
technical-
by.
This technical fail brought to you by Trey.
This adds to the suspense.
You know what's so great about technology is right when I turned on my camera, it said, hey, you're not allowed to join this meeting until you stop everything and re-sign into Microsoft Teams.
Oh, that's exciting.
That's always fun. Hi, everyone.
Can you see in this room? We've got another room too, but can you see all that smart energy?
Yes, I feel it. I'm all the way over in Reno, Nevada. I'm feeling it.
That's a long way for your energy to be traveling. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to have this real life superhero with us today.
Well, it's great to be here, and Polly, you can just drop the mic because I feel like you killed that keynote, and it's so awesome to see you kind of coming full circle and encouraging the next generation. It's really amazing.
Thanks so much, Lena. Yeah, this is very inspiring to be here, and certainly inspiring to have you with us. So I think everyone's just really curious as to your story. How did you get to be the superhero that you are? All of these firsts, breaking through every barrier and challenging what sounds to be truly the impossible.
Well, yeah, I mean, welcome to being human. You're going to get some things thrown your way unexpectedly, right? And I think later in this presentation, you guys are all going to see a slide with Team Toyota's athletes on it, and you'll see folks just like me. I use a wheelchair. There's Oksana Masters, that's a double-leg amputee, and all of these incredible, you know, humans, right? Superhumans, maybe not superhero, but superhumans that have had these incredible, you know, events maybe, or even were just born with a disability and were put in a position to do what any other human would do, and that's either sink or swim, right? And so I actually have, I guess it's a little bit of a rare story because you don't hear of a lot of females getting spinal cord injuries from action sports because there's only a few of us crazies out there, but I actually was an athlete my whole life. I played basketball, volleyball, and softball growing up, and very much identified as an athlete. So when I was 17 years old and was kind of exploring an alternative sport and getting really excited about the creativity around snowboarding, I was born a risk taker, and so when it came time to try my first backflip on a snowboard, I did that without hesitation, but the issue was I did not prepare fully. In that there was a rock underneath the snow where we were jumping and landing all day. So when I was standing on the side of a hill thinking, I'm gonna try my first first backflip on my snowboard, I wasn't thinking what's going on underneath the snow and, you know, have we probed for rocks? I was 17 years old and arguably like 10 foot tall, right? Because we're kind of invincible at that age. So I grant myself a lot of grace. That day, I did the backflip. I actually over-rotated and landed with my board and my boots over my head, which, you know, the density of the landing on that rock and the way that I landed resulted in me breaking my back in 3 places and becoming paralyzed upon impact. So 17 years old, you've got kind of the world at your fingertips, headed off to college on a softball scholarship, and I became paralyzed. And, you know, the only thing I really knew to be true about life at that point is if you set a goal, you can achieve it if you work really hard. That was like my truth, right? I grew up playing sports, And that's all I knew to be true. Well, it turns out that no matter how hard you work, you can't actually regenerate spinal cord nerves. You can regenerate just about every other nerve in your body. Your lung, heart, brain tissue can all regenerate, but not spinal cord nerves. So there I was at 17, kind of grappling with this impossible truth. And it took a while. It took about 2 years for me to come to grips with what had happened and maybe start believing the doctors when they said that I probably wouldn't walk again. And it wasn't until I did actually embrace that idea that I was able to move forward and sort of take responsibility for my life. And it was as if, I don't know, God intervened, or it was kind of a cosmic alignment. One day, I think it was at my lowest point in college when I was just moping around, feeling really misunderstood about my disability, not having an outlet of being active. I just needed to sweat and breathe and move. And I just happened to cut through the gym at the University of New Mexico, where I was at the time, and I saw a whole team of people playing wheelchair basketball. And if I could just get a show of hands for anybody who's seen wheelchair basketball. Okay, so we got a few. It's actually really big in Texas. UT Arlington has a great program. But okay, so for those of you who have seen it, it is low-key, like kind of violent, right? So everybody's got these really incredible wheelchairs that have slanted wheels, and you strap your whole lower half into this chair, and you are able to like move super fast and spin on a dime, and you hit each other and you fall over and you get back up and you're shooting 3-point shots and all of this. So I cut through the gym and I'm like jaw dropped, right? I'm like, but like, first of all, I didn't even know there were other people with disabilities in the world. It didn't seem like it at the time. This is back in 2000, so there wasn't Instagram or anything like that. So anyways, I'm watching this all happen and I'm like, I can't with this, like, give me a wheelchair, let me get into this. And it's exactly what happened. I got into one of those basketball chairs that day, and I felt like I was running for the first time. And that's like a testament to technology, right? Like I started breathing hard and sweating, and I was just like alive again. It was really important for me. And so at that point, I mean, very, very tough situation. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't like rainbows and butterflies, like I can play sports again. I was like, wow, I used to play able-bodied basketball, and the hoop was way closer, it felt like a mile away to get the ball up there. So I had to work through some of that hesitation, but it was really about that first risk that I took, right? I was like, I'm not sure I want to be a part of this. And then I just went for it, and I got into the basketball chair, and I realized that day that like, it wasn't really about my disability anymore. It was about what I could do with what I had now. And that shifted my perspective. I quit looking at all the things I had lost, quit looking at all the things I couldn't do. I quit crying about not being able to wear high heels, because I'm like 17 at the time. That was super important. And flip-flops. So I started thinking differently. I started thinking about what was possible. And, next thing I know, I'm going to basketball every Wednesday. I'm playing against all these new friends, right, that are all disabled, that are just doing the best that they can with what they have. And I remember looking over at this guy who I'm still friends with to this day, who didn't have any legs. And I just remember thinking, like, I don't care how many legs you're missing, like, I want to beat you down the court, right? Like, the disability got, like, totally canceled out. I was, like, competitive, like, my competitive spirit didn't get paralyzed, right? It was just, I was the same person. So, anyways, I went on to, thankfully, get to play collegiate sports like I had always dreamed of. And I played at the University of Arizona. And while training for the 2008 Paralympic Games, I was training at the University of Alabama. Roll Tide. And I had the best summer of my life, which was I graduated with my master's in kinesiology, and then I went on to win a gold medal for the U.S. in women's wheelchair basketball at the Beijing. Imagine I'm sitting on a podium with 11 other girls in basketball chairs. Everyone's got their own story that they've had to overcome. And it's not really about like overcoming your disability. It's about embracing what you are and not only accepting, but like truly respecting your journey and your process. And so sitting there with all those other girls, the energy was palatable, like receiving a gold medal and just thinking about, you know, when I thought my athletic career was over. And turned out like it was just beginning. I couldn't imagine it was gonna be so much better than it ever would have been otherwise. So it's like, you don't ever really know what life is giving you, whether it seems good or bad, right? You're a sweet lady, you're crying.
I am. That's
Thank
remarkable.
you.
What
Yeah,
a
so
story.
it's incredible to be able to share that with you, given that we have such an amazing group of athletes that all have a story as well.
Yeah, very, very moving, clearly moving, very inspirational. Thank you for sharing that with us. So, Elena, you said you saw the wheelchair basketball and you're like, I'm just gonna go for it. But it sounds like you went for a number of other sports. Trey gave me a list here. Like, you've competed in, let's see, sled hockey, hand cycling, adaptive surfing, alpine skiing, paragliding. I mean, there's so much on here. So you just saw them and went for it. Like, how do you go about having such a broad array of sports that you're into, and which one is your favorite?
Well, thank you for that. First of all, what a time to be alive, right?
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that I have a disability in this time because we have more freedom as people with disabilities than we've ever had. And that is in most part due to the technology that we have been able to interact with. So over the preceding years and decades that came before me, people with disabilities just like me were like, I want to play basketball. You know, it'd be great. Let's slap the wheels. You know what could work is strap my waist in. You know what would be great is put a shock on a mono ski and, you know, maybe some little skis on the arms. Like they figured it out from scratch for me. And you know what's even more incredible is Toyota has started to put their resources into creating technology for Paralympic athletes. And so now we have this TRD researched, designed piece of equipment that has never been made before and arguably is the best monoski that's ever been made because Toyota believes in the possibilities of people with disabilities. It's incredible. I hope that everyone in the room gets to like deep dive into this monoski. So to answer your question, first giving gratitude to the fact that I have had so many opportunities, right? Like the world is still at my fingertips. I can go surfing, I can go skiing, I can go, you know, I will say there are some sports that don't adapt well, but you know, that's just the nature of it. So yeah, I've pretty much done it all.
So is there one like on your hit list next that you're gonna go after?
Oh man, you know what would be my ultimate dream is,
Because we're gonna be watching for you. Just
what if I did this? Okay, what if I did this? Okay. What if I skydived down to a mountain and then skied down to the ocean and then surfed to the shore and then scuba dived?
what do you guys think? Watch out.
I've done all those things separately, but that's
So
like
you want to combine them? Look at you.
all in one day.
White, the competitor. All in one day. I like it. You're gonna have to go to California for that.
For sure.
That is phenomenal. So you're the only one that's medaled in both winter and summer Olympics. Is there one that you prefer? Like, do you like them both equally, or
Yeah, well, I guess I didn't even get to that part of my story. After Beijing in 2008, I went on to adaptive ski racing, and within 2 years made the Paralympic team and won 4 medals, 2 golds, a silver, and a bronze in Vancouver. And that made me the first ever female American to win gold in the summer and winter. Not the only one, but the first ever, which honestly, like, making history isn't something you can even wrap your head around. It was pretty amazing.
First ever.
Yeah, I would say, the Summer Games is really something so special because you get to do more interacting in the village. So if you can imagine the Olympic Games, right? Huge, biggest sporting event in the world. The Paralympic Games is the second largest sporting event in the world. It takes place 2 weeks after the Olympic Games in the same venues. They literally just take down all the signage and put up Paralympic signage. And all of the athletes from all over the world, they fly in, and you have the same cafeteria and all the same competition venues. And the most special part for me out of all of the games that I've been to was going to the cafeteria and just people watching and imagining, right? There's a swimmer from China that has 1 leg and no arms. There's a woman from Argentina that's paralyzed, that's a power lifter. Like, what's her story? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it makes you feel so in awe of the human spirit. You're just like, wow. So I would say the summer, because in the winter you have like the mountain village and all of the ice arena events, and everybody's kind of spread out. So that's the reason I would have to say the summer.
That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna share a little secret with you. I was also in the Summer Olympics.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
For
I'm
what
gonna tell
sport?
it to you. 1984, I was in the Summer Olympics. I was in the opening ceremony. I sang a song.
That's that big.
But I can still say I was in the Summer Olympics.
What song did you sing?
No, I'm not gonna. So it was part of an international children's choir, but because I was a child in 1984, for the record. So that was really exciting. I wanted to let you know also that in what year was it? 2018, we took all of our Lexus dealers to the Olympic Village at Colorado Springs. And one of the reasons why we did that was because we wanted our dealers to be inspired and to learn that if you want to be the best, you have to have the mindset of the best. If you just share with us, you have to train like there's like all the competition. Doesn't matter how many legs you have, I'm gonna win, right? And that, right? So what you said about when you saw and were inspired by that other athlete that you were playing with. It's kind of like that. It's don't think about what you need to do to raise your game so that you can win. And so is there other lessons that you've personally learned either from Toyota or that you would want to share with this group or with anyone else, whether it's a Lexus dealer or a student here at UT Dallas?
Yeah, one of the big shifts for me when I was kind of working through becoming paralyzed and embracing who I was I would constantly compare myself to my old self or to every other girl on the college campus, right? So I was constantly not really sizing up. I was always going to be less. If I compared myself to my old self, I lost the use of my legs, but what am I now? And if I compared myself to every other person, it's just, it was kind of a holding pattern for me. And so it was finally like, the lights switched on and I said, it doesn't matter what you lost and who you're not. What are you now? What can you do now? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And what's the best way to go about highlighting the best parts of you? And for me, it was like, you're still an athlete. And like I said, my competitive spirit never got paralyzed. I was like, I wanted it. And so I knew if I could harness that energy into what I was good at, which was sports, the only bridge that I needed to have between those two was the technology. It really was. It was, I need a basketball chair. I need to adapt. I need a monoski. I need an adaptive surfboard. So it's always been that technology in the space that has created that bridge that has made my whole life and dreams come true. So, you know, it was really about mentally, I needed to stop comparing myself. And I think, you know, that piece of information was life-changing for me. And anyone in the room, like, everybody's got an unique perspective to bring to the table, and everybody's got different talents. And so, yeah, I'm sure everybody's experienced that, where you're just like in a holding pattern with comparing, and you're like, no, actually, what am I great at? Let's go there.
So you're all great at something, find it and channel it. And I know you're not only a great athlete, but you're a great mommy. Can you tell us a little bit about your son, Gunnar?
Yes, thank you for asking. Well, I will say he is a car guy, and in fact, we have
Good, we have a position for him.
we have so many Matchbox cars. The Cars movie phase is still going strong. Anybody that went through that. And his dad is insane about NASCAR, so we will be at the Florida Daytona 500. Yeah, so he's incredible. He loves our active lifestyle and has like very much gotten into it. So he's already gotten probably 20 days on snow already, and it's yeah. So he's 3.5. So he's just he's learning about pizza and French fry. You know.
Thank you, pizza. Where are my kids?
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. That's so awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today, for sharing your very inspiring story, for your words of advice and wisdom.
And really feel so grateful that my life is aligned with a company whose mission is to create mobility solutions. I mean, that's the idea, is just to get everybody moving. Movement is medicine, and if you can move, you're gonna be all right. So anyways, I wish you all the best of luck on your WEHack. Think big, do something outrageous, and thanks so much for having me.
Can we keep you for one more minute to see if there's any compelling question in the audience for you?
Please, I would love that.
Okay. Any questions from anyone here before we leave our superhero to go chase after Gunnar? Any questions? We have one question right here.
Have you met Sean White?
Thank you for that very insightful question. I have been on the same red carpet as Sean White. I was nominated for an ESPY award, which is for ESPN. And if I could have worn like a front-facing camera as all of the most incredible athletes and celebrities were walking past me on the red carpet, my face would have been so embarrassing. But I did see Sean White. I'm paralyzed, but I got weak in the knees over Lamar Odom. I remember that. And then I don't know if you guys know Adam Sandberg, but he came across the red carpet and I was like mind blown. He's a SNL guy.
Very cool. Great question. Thank you so much again for being here with us. Oh, I'm sorry. One more quick question. Go for it.
So how are you involved in the next generation of kids with disabilities that want to be you when they grow up?
Oh, great question. Thank you for that. Well, I work really closely with my husband's foundation. He started in 2009. It's called the High Fives Foundation. And instead of kind of giving a handout, right, you give a hand up and high five somebody who's going through a traumatic injury like a spinal cord or a brain injury. And what we do is raise funds for folks that are gonna wanna get back out there, whether it's on a mountain bike or on a surfboard or skis. however they got injured, we're hoping to bridge that gap financially for them so that they can get back out doing the things that they love. And so one of my main passions is with anybody that I find, I try to stay really present on social media so that I know who's reaching out, and if there are little kids. There's a young girl in New Mexico where I'm from who just lost her leg in a climbing accident. And I made sure she applied for a grant through the High Fives Foundation to do what she loves. And she's getting a hand cycle, and she's only 9. She's got like a world of sports to explore. So we're excited to support her in getting like every piece of adaptive equipment, which by the way is not cheap. It is very expensive to get. So, and usually isn't covered by insurance. So that's what we do. And you know, the best part about my job is I get to actually participate, right? So we do camps, we have ski camps, surf camps, mountain bike camps, and I get to mentor and coach during that time. So just stay really busy.
Thank you so much. Trey, tell me we have we're going to show that ski that you were talking about, so we're going to put that up there. But once again, thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story and inspiring our next generation of people that are going to make
Thank you so much. Best of luck. Thank you all so much for having me. Thanks, Greg.
Bye.
Definitely.
Okay, so we want to show you a quick picture of what Elena was talking about. So there's Toyota Sit Ski. There, isn't that cool? Okay, so let's quickly go on to our challenge statement now that we've inspired you with amazing Paralympian who can conquer everything. This is going to be a breeze. So here is our challenge to all of you. So Toyota's vision is for customers to experience amazing. Using the latest tech trends, you are tasked with creating a next generation mobility solution that enhances safety and or convenience, further elevating the unsurpassed Toyota or Lexus customer experience. So use your imagination to develop the concept, build the documentation, the visualization, and vividly demonstrate it through a software MVP. And that'll help our judges, awesome Toyota volunteers that are here this weekend, really understand your vision and appreciate your core idea. We are so excited to see what you've got in store for us in the next 24 hours. And so we've got some prizes. So I won't read them all out here, but our first place winners will be winning a JBL Flip 6 Toyota backpack with a whole bunch of Toyota swag, Camelback hydration pack, and a monitor. And I do want to share it, so that we've got obviously third and second prizes for you guys as well. But very, I think the wait, there's more moment is that we are here in your backyard. We host a global hackathon. Last year we had hundreds of people fly in from every continent except Antarctica, and really come together in our hackathon. And we had the pleasure of hosting a UTD hackathon team, and they made a difference. We're able to make connections. We want to open doors for you and help set your future off, because we need you and we need your diverse mind. So thank you for everything that you're doing, for giving Toyota an opportunity to spend the morning and the weekend with you. And with that, on behalf of Toyota, we wish you all the best of luck.
So thank you so much to Toyota for connecting us to some really great speakers and for letting us learn so much. So let's move on to our other sponsors now. Please set that up. So thank you so much. We learned so much, and I hope that everyone got something really empowering out of both of the speakers. So first we have L3 Harris to speak of their challenge statement.
Hello, everybody. Well, I don't have anything nearly as inspiring to say, but as a fellow UT Dallas student, I know what everybody's here for. We have some cat prizes. Basically, the idea is that STEM engagement in students and kids has been going down, particularly in software engineering. Software engineering is like the only kind of engineering where the amount of women and non-binary students getting bachelor degrees is going down. So we challenge you guys to think outside the box on how to engage those students of any level using an app. So we want to see the limits of your creativity with this one. You can have any sort of focus. Maybe you want to do physics, maybe you like physics. Maybe you want to really focus on a human-computer interaction aspect of it. We just want you guys to focus on making an app that will help increase the engagement of students and young students in a STEM field to try and hopefully get the next generation into this room where you guys are now.
Thank you so much, Elsie Harris. That was really great. Let's go to our next sponsor, State Farm.
All right, thank you. Again, kudos to Toya, an amazing keynote. So I want to shout out, very inspiring as a platinum sponsor. So great job to your team. I'm Josh Carl. I'm with State Farm. I see a lot of familiar faces in here from campus manager responsibilities here in Dallas, from ACM Dallas. So again, looking forward to this. So again, on behalf of State Farm, just thank you for engaging. Of course, this is what we care about up here, but I really want to spend some time. I like to take these moments to really hit on what we're doing in a hackathon is innovation, right? When you step back and think about it, and innovation doesn't stop. So throughout our organization, across any Fortune 100, 500 company, innovation is part of our fabric, right? So we've got to stay on there. What does innovation mean? Once you get out of your studies, it means how does as an organization you stay relevant? How do you stay ahead of the competition? How do you solve real world problems, whether it's a internal business State Farm problem or something in the community? So I get passionate about innovation. We can talk about it for an hour with you guys. But again, I just encourage you guys, whether this is your first hackathon, you're a seasoned veteran at hackathons, just lean in, take advantage of that. And I call them pro tips. You guys hear me say that if you're part of the ACM. Toyo did a great job hitting on this too, but what matters is the customer experience. So as you think through your designs, whether it's our hack, other hacks, we're technology in nature. We think we understand how applications and user interfaces should work, but the reality is, does our opinions matter? Some. The actual user is what matters. So think about as you're going through here, if you're doing something in a nonprofit, how do you get continuous user feedback to shape your application? I'm similar. I've been at State Farm 24 years. We are guilty of, I know enough to be dangerous. I know enough about insurance. This is what we should do. But the reality is we put products out that our users just hate. So we say minimal viable product. We go out the door first. We've kind of coined the phrase internal at State Farm. We call it MLP. And that's minimal lovable product. How do we get a product out to our users that they love from the beginning versus just merely tolerating? And we see that when innovation plays into that. So I want to give a little spill on innovation. Like I said, I'm very passionate about it. Love to talk to anybody about innovation. But again, our challenge statements up here, I'll read it to you again. It's very broad here. But again, similar, wide open. Use your creativity. Think of what could be, right? Go Elon Musk style launch, right? What could be? You want to go to Mars? Go, right? I mean, that's the power of innovation. So really, as good neighbors who treat others with respect, dignity, and empathy, creating a welcoming environment where everyone feels they belong, can grow and thrive. All of us own the responsibility to exemplify inclusive behavior in every relationship at school, work, or in our community. We work with others to make the world around us a better place. So again, think of creating a digital experience, a game, application, etc., that supports these goals by promoting understanding, diversity, and inclusion, right? This is a big part. Everybody's opinion matters. We get a bunch of bright, diverse minds together. We can make the impossible possible. Again, prizes, that's what matters too. We got a 27-inch curved monitor, baby monitor. And then we have a Bluetooth wireless headset as well. And again, I'll put a plug in tonight. We do have a workshop. And that's why I got little Jake here, bobblehead. Couldn't get Jake to come, we didn't get it, but we are gonna be giving 5 of these out. These are, I don't wanna say limited edition, but we only do have 5 here with us. But there will be a trivia session, part of our showcase night, that we'll be giving out 5 of these Jake from State Farm bobbleheads. So again, thank you for the opportunity. Take full advantage of this.
Great, thank you so much. Those bobbleheads look pretty cool, so highly recommend going to the workshop. So next up, we have CBRE.
Hi, thank you. My name is Dusty Wofford, and I can't echo, it's amazing. I'm very humbled to be invited to this, to be able to attend, and to see all the women in allyship. It's just amazing. I actually also graduated. I don't want to tell you when I graduated, but the place looks totally different, and I got lost this morning, so that tells you anything. So first off, one of the things that we're doing at CBRE, I have 2 minutes, I'm going to talk really quickly. But we have a big push on really our RISE values, what we call RISE, and it's called respect and integrity, service, and excellence in everything we do. We live by that, and for those of you that know commercial real estate, and we are everywhere, we have our pulse on everything, and we are the largest around the globe. So we picked today, our challenge statement is a little different. It's a real live use case we are trying to solve in one of our lines of business that does investments in real estate and builds on the construction side. So we are looking for you, and I'll read it. I know y'all can read, but then I will dive down a little bit on it. Is what we want you to do is we want to utilize AI to help CBRE confidentially identify the location of their next development endeavor. What does that really mean? That means data. We have huge amounts of data around location, demographics, where our customers today are located around the globe, what makes them want to be in those sites. And this is all, we need artificial intelligence to be able to tell our customers, hey, we think you should go there next, and these are the reasons why. It is something that is not as easy as it sounds, but it's something that's huge. Lots of companies are actually trying to solve this, not just CBRE. So we have the data, and I think they'll be sharing that with you. We do want you to think outside the box. If you have different ways of doing it, different ideas, please, we want to hear it because we have not solved it. So get creative, have fun, and just thank you again. I think this is a great experience, and I have a sophomore in college, so I was amazed by, I'll be honest, I was helping with the internship program that we're running, and wow, I haven't done half the things y'all have done. So y'all have great, so all this journey y'all have, because y'all have a lot more at your fingertips than we ever did. And so have fun. Okay, thank you.
All right, and last but certainly not least, we have MLH. Hello. So, hello, hi. Okay, I'm gonna tap it because it's gonna be really fast here. So, hi, I'm Maria. So happy to be back here at UTD. I graduated in December of 2019, so happy to be back here. Also have Azim over here with me this weekend. I'm about to go over a lot of information very quickly. Hack.mlh.io is your cheat sheet to everything, and I will not be offended if you take out your phones and take pictures throughout this, because some of this includes codes for free credits, so you can get started over the weekend. So at Spatially Hacking, we partner with organizers at different hackathons all across the globe. We work with over 250 events over the year as the global hacker community with over 500,000 different community members. By being here, you're earning points in our season-long competition. We also have Global Hack Week that goes on if you're interested in learning more about specific topics. For example, this week's Global Hack Week that just ended, this happens once a month. We have a week-long of sessions and workshops, was focused on AI and ML. So if you're interested in checking out any of that, globalhackweek.mlh.io. We're doing a lot of different things this weekend, but mainly we have a couple of different prize categories going on, and we also have a sneak cybersecurity workshop later today. We'll hear for general support throughout the event with those different credits. I'm going to go over those and some prices we have available if you choose to use any of them. They're very general, so if you want to build off whatever your project ideas are, they're there to help you get introduced to a couple of different things that you can work with. So Sneak Cybersecurity Challenge, 3 o'clock, 1.365 is going to be the room we'll be in. We'll be wrapping off the Lego sets to anybody who participates. You don't have to finish the challenge, you just have to come and try it out. We'll be looking for vulnerabilities, codes using Sneak, and then exploiting that vulnerability to find a secret flag. We also have the resources that I was talking about, hack.emily.io. Again, that's a very important link that has a bunch of these. We have the most creative use of GitHub. GitHub is a great way for you to collaborate with your teammates and merge your code together so you're not copying and pasting things together. We have a puzzle set and some wonderful Octocat stickers for the most creative use of GitHub here. We also have the most creative use of Twilio as a category. You can get $50 of credit using the code up on the screen. And this one I highly suggest taking a picture of because it has a bunch of random characters at the end, so I can't say it aloud very easily. Gonna leave that for 2 seconds because I see lots of phones. Next up, we have a free .tech domain name available this weekend from domain.com. The code for this one's VDay23. We have some cards with this at our table, so if you forget that code, feel free to come by and say hi. Free 1 year with domain privacy .tech domain name. The most creative domain name has a chance to win some backpacks. We also have best use of Microsoft Cloud for your community. You can win 12 months of LinkedIn Premium and a 3-month Game Pass subscription. So if you need any credits to get started with this, come say hi and they'll help you get started. We also have best use of MongoDB Atlas, so you can get started with $50 worth of credits, and you can win an M5 Go Starter Kit. If you see any of those again, go to DevPost, check them out. Again, hack.emily.io also has them available. We also will be giving out WEHack specific iDemo stickers, so if you go to any other MLH events, like if you went to Hack UTD last semester, or if you go to TNNU, or if you go to any of the other hackathons that we partner with, we have these custom iDemo stickers that we make. This one specifically has the WEHack logo on it, so you can collect those excellent stickers. We also have the MLH Career Lab. If you are looking for a job, hackp.ac/careers. And we have the MLH Fellowship, which is an internship alternative available. So if you're looking for something, it's a 12-week program. It is a paid program. It is remote. A lot more information is going to be available on that link on the website, or you can kind of ask me about it later. But I know we want to move on to hacking soon. So on a serious note, the last thing I want to focus on today is that by being here, you're agreeing to the MLH Code of Conduct. We want everybody at all of the events we work with to have a safe space. We want you to tell us if something's wrong so we can help you resolve it. If anything at all happens whatsoever, come see me, come see one of the organizers. We have a process we go through to make sure everything ends up resolved so that we can help you and make sure that you have a safe space to have fun this weekend and learn and do amazing things. So if you need anything, feel free to reach out to us. This is also linked on the WEHack website or on the MLH website. So if you need access to our code of conduct, feel free to reach out there. You can call us, you can email us, you can come up to us or the organizers during the event and we'll help you figure out anything. If anything happens, just let us know. We're here to help you. Thanks again to all of our partners, and that's it for me.
Great. Thank you so much, Maria. You covered a lot of information in such a short time period. It's a great job. Okay, so real quick, we're going to dive deep into some of the logistics.
All right, so this weekend, please be sure to join our WEHack 2023 Discord. This is where we post announcements for workshops, meal times, and swags. And you'll also receive some answers to any questions you may have through this Discord. So be sure to also make an account on Hack Portal because this will be your starting point here at WEHack. So we use Hack Portal to have announcements, to post a schedule, food, swag, hacker pack, and again, to answer questions. So to use it, please make an account at live.wehackutd.com, and then you use the scanning page to get the QR code for your food and your swag this weekend.
Okay, so we also have DevPost. So this is where you're going to be submitting your projects. For WEHack this year, we have a max limit of 4 individuals per team. So please submit it. Make sure you have a proper description, select the appropriate sponsor challenge, etc. We do have a hard stop for 10:45 a.m. for submission, so make sure you do submit on time. And also, right after you submit, yeah. Okay. Yes. We'll keep it there for a couple minutes. You guys have another slide too with all these QR codes, just FYI.
Very good.
Great, okay. So for judging, so tomorrow, right after you submit your project, judging will happen from 1 to 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to be in person in ECS West 1.315. So essentially, it's a 5-minute demo just showcasing what you've created and what your project is. We do have a Women in Compute workshop right before this, so if you want to have some tips and tricks to learn how to put your best foot forward in these demos, highly recommend attending that. And yes, that is FYI.
Okay, so to spot a WEHack organizer this weekend, please look out for those of us with maroon sweatshirts. And so WEHack organizers, sponsors, mentors, and volunteers will have black lanyards, and then hackers will have blue lanyards. So some final reminders, please make sure to make your account on Hack Portal. Be sure to check the Discord for announcements and to ask any questions that you have regarding anything we've covered today. And please keep a reminder that Toyota's Unlock Your Potential Tech Talk is going to happen at 12 here in this room. And lunch will be at 1 p.m. after the Toyota workshop in the ECSW Atrium.
So these are all the links for all the resources that we discussed. So just take a minute to take a look at all of this. Last but not least, we want to see sponsors, hackathon organizers even, hackers. We want to see how fun you guys are going to have during this weekend. So make sure, like, if you want to put something on your Instagram story or if you want to make a LinkedIn post, feel free to tag Instagram, our Instagram handle, and our LinkedIn as well. So this is just all our information.
Alrighty, and lastly,
Happy hacking!
Thank you so much,